Hello YouTubers! Out in the shop doing some cooking today. I've got zucchinis. You probably seen my last video. Going to try something new today. I've made 24 loaves of zucchini bread and my wife has made 12, so we're going to go a little different route. I got to thinking that zucchini bread and carrot cake have a lot of the same texture. So I'm going to make zucchini bread. Instead of putting it in one of these big loaf pans, I'm going to be putting it in cake pans that I've already greased and floured. Now, these loaves that I made only filled up about half of this loaf pan and then kind of domed up, but it actually didn't, I don't think they came over the top of the pan. And these are not near as tall, but they're way bigger around. So I made up 1.5 batches of the zucchini bread that I used in 2 of these pans, so I'm going to use them in 2 of those cake pans, but I got 1.5 batches. So I'll tell you what I've got here. It's 3 cups of flour, and I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients. Why don't you come in here a little closer so you can see what I'm doing? Okay, there you go. I'll try to stay out of your way. What I've got is 3 cups of flour. Now remember, this is for 1.5 batches of zucchini bread. So if you have 3 pans or you want a taller loaf, thicker loaf, you can go with this route. 3 cups of flour, 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon. I've got baking soda, 3 teaspoons of baking soda. I put little notes on all of them. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I've got 2, oops, almost spilled it. A half of a teaspoon of baking powder. You put those all together. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. And you whisk it all together to get it mixed up. I do have my oven preheating at 350. And we'll set all this stuff back. Now I have 2 cups of sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. Get it mixed up a little bit, break up that brown sugar a little. I did sift the flour and the sugars. The brown sugar didn't go through too good, but I sifted it through this just to get it sifted up a little bit and broke up because my sugar's kind of lumpy. In the sugar mixture, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of canola oil, and I've mixed in 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. I'm going to pour that in there. I need 4 eggs. One, 2, 3, wipe my hands off. Okay, I am going to use a hand mixer and get this all mixed up. Be right back. Okay, I got that all whipped together real good. Now I got to start mixing in the dry ingredients. A little bit at a time. This stuff gets pretty thick. Now I might mention that I have not done this before, the cake I mean, so we'll find out if my estimations are correct. See how that gets really thick. We'll set this over here now. We have to put in the zucchini, and I've got, that was, where's it at? 3 cups of zucchini and 1.5 cups of nuts, and those are walnuts that I chopped up. Get this all folded together. It looks almost like mixing up concrete with some kind of fiberglass to bind it, all that zucchini in there. I think that's pretty good. Nice thing about working out here in my shop is the only person that gets pissed off if I make a mess is me. And I'll clean it up myself. There. Get my 2 bread pans, and we'll try to get them both filled up an even amount. Now, it's said to bake the loaves of zucchini bread for 50 to 60 minutes. And that was with a single or a 2-loaf batch, and this would be probably considered a 3-loaf batch. But since there's a lot more surface area on this, I'm going to go with the same amount of time and then just check it with a toothpick. Keep checking it until it's done. And my little oven out here sometimes takes a little longer than what the recipes say. So I always put it in for the 60 minutes and start checking it. I've tried turning the temperature up, and I usually get kind of a crispy bottom, so I stick with the temperature, and boy, those look full. That might have been a boo-boo, but we'll go with it. We might have some great big 2-layer cake. Let me go check the oven, see if it's ready to go. I'll put these in the oven for an hour. At 30 minutes, my oven's so small I have to put one on top of the other. I got 2 shelves, so at a half hour I'll switch them and see how they look in an hour. We'll be back. Okay, I had to let them bake for an hour and 10 minutes. The toothpick came out clean, and oh, I put a little under-the-counter fluorescent light above my little workbench here. Helps a lot, doesn't it? Let them set here for about 20 minutes to cool, and then I will get them out of those pans. Well, there it is. How's it look? I wonder if my wife will notice if there's a piece missing. Bet it would taste good with some ice cream. Got the little goodies down in there. Still a little warm. That's the kind of icing I used. It does kind of remind you of carrot cake. And it's zucchini, so it's got to be good for you. Really good. Thanks for watching.